It's me. So my first live stream. I just wanted to go live in my videos because I have a lot of stories that I think about. But this is the time that I got beat up. The first time I ever got in a fight ever. I haven't been in many fights. I've been jumped a few times, but I haven't been in many one-on-one fights. Um, but maybe I'll tell the time when I got jumped too one video. But yeah, this is the first time that I got in the fight. So sixth grade. So back in sixth grade, um, sixth grade was actually my first time being in public school. I was in private school from first time I went to public school was in kindergarten. Then from first grade to fifth grade, I was in private school, and so sixth grade was my first time being back in public school as a person, right? So I wasn't nerdy. My grandparents, I raised with my grandparents, so my grandparents kept me looking good. I had Nike, I wore Nike, Jordans, but I wasn't really fashionable yet because I always wore uniform. So this is, I wasn't really. I was always around good kids because I was in private school. But when I went to public school for the first time, this is when first time I'm in all black school. I don't know how kids really are. I don't know how kids really are yet. I know they can be bad, but I was raised with hood kids. I mean, not raised, but I was going to school with hood kids. Inner city. I was in an inner city public school. So you could just, All right. So I was in one of my elective classes. I know we were in. It wasn't a music class, but it was in the music room. So the seats were, how to stand in in most music classrooms they got the piano at the bottom and they got the stairs that go down. Because the school that I was going to was an old high school. So I was going to Lincoln. If you're anybody watching this from Greensboro, I was going to Lincoln Middle School, and I was in that class in the music room. Right. I got one viewer. It's probably my grandma or somebody. so, so check it out. So we in there. This is this kid named man. I don't even want to say his name yet because the name is like half of the funny. The dude name was Brian Love, yo. His name was Brian. His last name was Love. Right? And he was an ugly kid, right? And I might have been, because I've always been class clown. I might have been picking at him or something. I can't really see myself picking too hard. I didn't really have any reason to bully Brian Love, but yeah, I might have. I know my cousin. I think my cousin Doobie was in the class with me. I had a cousin named Doobie, Doobie. That was his nickname, and he was an instigator. And I think he was in the classroom with me. But yeah, telling the story it really brings back the memories. So um, I might have been. Doobie might have been picking on him, and I might have been, going at him, getting at him, trying to egg him on, like, tag teaming, like say something about him because he was ugly, man. He's an ugly dude, man. He had like black around his eye. I can't describe how he looks, but he wasn't a cute kid, man. His teeth were really messed up. He was kind of quiet and kind of he's he's a strange kid, but he wasn't like nobody that you would bully though. So we might have been picking on him or something. And I had a Game Boy Advance. I was playing my Game Boy Advance, and I might have said something to him. And this is my first time, and it kind of escalated a little bit. He stood up I never been in a fight. I'm gonna stand up too. I don't think we're gonna fight. I think if anything, we might push. And now that I'm thinking about it, recalling, I think I pushed him, or he pushed me first. One of us pushed somebody, and I want to say I pushed him first because I guess I always have. I black out. Like my body will do it. My brain won't do it. My body will do it. You get what I'm saying? It's not my mind doing it. It's just my, I pushed him. Wasn't thinking about the consequences, and I'm still like that today. And I kind of pushed him, right? And I pushed him, man. And I don't know what happened after that, but somehow I ended up in a headlock, man. He had me in the headlock, and I just remember him hitting me on the top of my head. And I remember I couldn't do anything because I had my Game Boy Advance in my hand. And I know, thinking back, like, even back then, I just was like, man, if I didn't have that Game Boy in my hand, man, I could have fought back a little bit, but I didn't want to drop my Game Boy Advance and break it. That was more important to me at the time because he wasn't really beating me up. He was like doing like this, yo. He wasn't even hitting me hard, man. I remember it wasn't because he was hitting the top of my head. He had me like this, and he had my head like this, and he was hitting me on the top of the head. And I just didn't think. You're not thinking about what you got in your hands and stuff. And after with the teacher, I guess the teacher probably broke us up or something like that. And man, the rest of that, it didn't last that long, but the person I caught the most hell from was Doobie. He was the one that gave me all the rest of my school, because this happened in 6th grade. So every time Brian Love was around me, it wasn't like I'm scared of him. It's just like awkward, like, damn, that dude beat me up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I had no reason. It wasn't really no beef or nothing. We just got in a little scuffle. We had a little beef, and every time he seen me, he had that look on his face like, because I beat up someone before, and when I seen that person, it was kind of awkward, like, dang, I beat that dude up. I shouldn't have did. He had that look, kind of like a pity look, like he didn't really want to do it. But Doobie was like always like, he used to make this joke, man. He would be like, the love, like he would say that. Brian, he would say that, man, and it would make me so embarrassed, man, because his last name was Love. I got beat up by a dude named with his last name is Love. How ironic, man. And Doobie just would give me the most hell. And Doobie always bullied me, man. And when I go over his house, man, I remember one time I went over his house, and he was from the hood. So I would go down to his house, or something. I ride my bike down to his house. Why would I be riding my bike to Doobie's house knowing he gonna be bullied? But anyway, you know how you are as a kid, man. You got that. You're attracted to your captor. Like there's a psychological thing where people fall in love with their captor or something like that. The person that captures them, they fall in love with him. So I kind of had that kind of relationship with Doobie. Like I loved him, but he picked on me. You know what I'm saying? But he put me on the what's not the Ferris wheel, merry-go-round. Let me get past this car. He put me on the merry-go-round one time, man. And he had that mug spinning, bing, bing. You know how you hit the merry-go-round, bing, 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 bing. He just was spinning it. And I was just begging him, stop. And he just kept on spinning it, yo. Just tortured, like laughing. That's how he laughed, man. He'd be like, and he just was spinning that junk, man. And he would not stop spinning it, yo. And I think his brother, Kaya, he had a brother named Kaya. He had long, thick dreads for a little kid. He was on there too, but he was laughing. He was on there spinning, laughing, because he a little ghetto boy. He a little kid, man. They don't care about nothing. But he was on there too, and I'm begging him, please stop spinning. I'm on there like going sick, getting. Imagine being on the merry-go-round, somebody spinning it as hard as they can, keeping it going as fast as it can, and they will not stop. And there's no way you can jump. You can't jump off a merry-go-round that's going. I mean, you could, but that's scary enough right there. You can't. I probably couldn't even stand up to jump off of it. It was going to gravity. But yeah, man, Doobie. Wow, I haven't thought about him in a long time. I don't think about him much. But yeah, man, that's the time I got beat up, and every time I saw Brian Love, it was really awkward. And I wonder what he's doing now. Nothing. I bet, man. I remember I went on Facebook one time. I had made a new Facebook a couple years ago to go find all the people that I went to middle school with, high school with, and all the people that was bullying me and that were doing so good and that were popular. All the girls that were so beautiful, all the dudes that played sports and were so cool. None of them is amounting up to anything, and I felt so great seeing that. It made me so good to be like, yes, they didn't win. I was so happy to say, yes, they're not doing that. Like, this is before I had came up the way I came up, but I was like, yes, they're on the same level as me. Ain't nobody, none of these dudes went to the NFL. Nobody's, everybody, all the dudes that was like basketball star. I mean, it was this dude named Will Graves. He went to UNC. He did pretty well, but he didn't really play. And he was like the #1 basketball player in the state at the time. He was a year ahead of me. And then there was this kid named, when I first got to middle school, it was this dude named Prince. And I remember And1, I don't know if y'all old enough, but it was this basketball thing called And1, where they play basketball and they be dribbling and all crazy, doing tricks and stuff. They came to our school one time, And Prince got on the court, man, and he did something, man. They went crazy in there because the hot sauce was there, and they went crazy in the gym, yo. Wonder what he doing right now. Not a damn thing.